Hello, welcome back. I'm going to try to finish up Post-Storm in this episode. Since I don't have a timer or anything, I am free to do something stupid. Siru's Wall. We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon. As before, join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce. So this one might go a bit longer than my other ones. Hopefully it doesn't reach like the 3-hour mark like that one video in Baldur's Gate. It was like, what, 3.5 hours long? And that was for all one quest. And it wasn't a main quest, it was, well, I guess technically it was a character quest. Let us pray there are no sandstorms brewing out there. Give the word when you are ready to take wing. This map reminds me of a Halo 3 map. Oh, this place reminds me of the Halo 3 map. Was it Snowbound or something? There's no turrets to shoot at us.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand. Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders. Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
It just explodes. The burn just becomes a giant crater.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming. $1,000 yards, 2,000, 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected. 4,000, 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yams. We've done it.
5,000 yams.
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wall for us. Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
We all were. And thus they produce a key to the barrier.
By the gods, it's Alphino. What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
The barrier's still up.
Lower the barrier!
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
No, not him too.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light? I, Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished.
I would have liked another option where the character would have not been able, would have had a different answer to this.
Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible. There's no way you could have survived.
Do you remember how it unfolded? How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea? The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment at least. A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians. The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Habrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion.
That wasn't us. That was a primal.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword.
Still wondering how you're able to do that.
Are the Scions not of like mind?
In this single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-Masked Ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know. Yet among the Red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the source. The first was La Habrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Habrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us? As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, It is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch. Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno Galvus.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized. And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus. All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor? I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland. It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
He stole 3 paychecks from Edgar!
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods, even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least. Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
I wonder when we'll get that sword class that the Garleans have. Then again, that might be an NPC, like the Musketeers, an NPC-only class. Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak. I've spoken with the physician, and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphino is lost in a sleep from which he cannot be awoken, just like the others. It seems that even the lands of the Empire were not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alize, I do, but Alphino is returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to wake him. Until then, you can fulfill your duties as a scion, yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course, there's an arrangement to be made and little time to make them. To business then, my lord, now that we know Sirio's wall works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? We most certainly can. As promised, we shall send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay, save for some few who boast teleportation magic. The bulk of our forces must be traversed by seas, a lengthy voyage for what the smaller vessels favored by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. According to means to enlist the assistance of the East Alnid Trading Company and finding suitable ships. As for navigating the distance in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who piloted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it will unlikely that our East Alnid friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I am certain that they will offer Alphino a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a Shurgan accompany him every elm of the way to the Rising Stones. Have my thanks, Lord Ian. Gary, I will go on ahead and our friends to Alamigo enlist all the capable of teleportation and put them at the disposal of yours in alliance. As soon as possible, they will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. Is exactly what we hoped for. Lys and the alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Meanwhile, the crater of Fawn.
Our supplies of Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
See that you do.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
How very noble of you.
Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect. Slowly but surely, The deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
Well, you do what, precisely?
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise. Our homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Are you truly so naive? You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design?
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed. Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way. Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude. I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome. You dabbled in Allagan cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research. And of all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus, like grandsire, like grandson, eh?
This shoots him again.
If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
More food. We must leave now to convene with Eors and the leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Haku, I leave in command. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lise. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's eastern border. Once we arrived in the locks, we're to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Pretoria, who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Probably when after I'm done recording, if I'm allowed to, I'll let Pandora out so she can fight with her siblings. You must be the Scion party. I was told to look out for you. If you'll follow me, I'll take you directly to Alliance headquarters. This place looks a lot brighter than I remember.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Here. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, where our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news,
so, Alphino won't wake up. Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right? Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal. Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it. As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varus Zos Galvus would be attending.
The Emperor himself. Well, Varus did sanction Populara's peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
gods, Lise, you know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it. Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion. Oh, you're not, are you? Come on, if Alize can put on a brave face, then so can you. Now, we don't know what Varus means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand should make all the difference.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an emperor waiting too long, shall we?
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Gallian Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you. As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue. Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
The citizens of Doma can also attest to the meager arms of Imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor. For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise.
Technically, Mitsumgar is still alive. He's in Edgar's pocket.
You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end. Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people. There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of Magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it. And from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers? I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty. Would that your people might learn from their example.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
To be fair, she didn't do that. That was Louis Swa.
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing.
Secondly, you dropped a moon on Eorzea. I'm pretty sure if Bahamut didn't break out of that thing in time, we wouldn't be here talking at all. This planet would be quite a bit devoid of life.
Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait! I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here. Please. If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
For a moment, I feared our talks would descend into violence there and then. Alisaie spoke of her dislike for politics, but her honest plea may very well have prevented an early battle. Without rebuttal, I had in mind was lost when Varys mentioned my father. The man is certainly skilled at keeping his opponents off balance. For years, for years have we warred with the Empire, and with no end in sight, a parley such as this represents a unique opportunity, and would not squander it with bitter words. Varys holds fast to his ideals, just as I know he would. He will not be swayed from this path. Why do I feel like feeling the Emperor is hiding something? It's true that Lemisa beginnings were not wholly honorable, but our old wrongs do not make the Empire's deeds right. I do much wonder at Emperor Varys' decisions to attend these negotiations. It is plain he has no interest of hearkening to our entreaties, but what then is his goal? Probably to buy time for something. This is really not my forte. After his ratings low performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. I was just asked myself what Alphino would have done, tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle it worked. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. What is it? I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene. Is there we not try consulting our Lucius leaders? Mayhap they have some insight to share. This parley was never really like to bring peace, and I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varys' relationships with the Ascians. As had we all, yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the fact. And if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Or that I knew more of the man, if you would indulge me. Lord Ian, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all Garlemald, nor else in the heavens. Come to that, veneration of the gods is forbidden, and the only worship permitted being that of his radiance's own person. I share your disdain for their hypocrisy, even as if they disagree to the idea of faith. They veer their leaders in a fervor some reserved for the divine. It is a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed us. Logical on the surface, perhaps, but country upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varys to reveal something. 12 have mercy, but for Lady Alisaie's timely interjection, we might well have come to blows at the negotiation table. Not that Varys left us a great many options. It's unconditional surrender. All he will accept, do you think? Ere he arrived, I have said yes, but here, having him speak, I cannot help but think he came with other ends in mind. Excellent. He's building up to something. I knew it. How then should we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light? You believe he is more apt to revealing the truth if we put him at ease. Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Edgar. I will say one thing for this Varys. He is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest is in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemies. All should know their enemies, yet there is much more we do not know of the Empire. You would have me ask the Emperor himself. Well, mayhap there is some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. You've spoken with everyone then? Good. Now all that matters is to await the pleasure of the Emperor, and hope we fare better at the second attempt.
Now then, who would have the floor?
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affair surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the barrens said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Is that a dead moth in there?
Finally, you ask the right question. I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause. My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be.
Lifeless?
In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more. No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
I am talking about the origins of the star, of the source and its 13 reflections. At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother.
Mankind would do that anyway.
You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures.
Even if all was one race, we would still be at each other's throats. We would just find a different reason to do it. Simple as that.
To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined. That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
A rejoining of worlds.
I have heard this tale of the Source and its reflections before.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing. But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Gallian Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
What?
Yes. My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters, when the prize is true and lasting peace?
The prize is lack of life. That's the only way for true peace.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence. Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard. An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs.
Above the servants of fire, ice, wind, earth, water, and what was the last one? All right, thunder, or was it lightning?
We would be the masters of our own fate. I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left.
I think that's the point, Raban.
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable. Unconscionable.
I go half the table stand up. Oh, now the rest of the table's standing up.
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together, that we might take fate into our own hands.
Into your hands, perhaps. But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
But we already have. At least on 2 occasions.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler? The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another. While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation.
And then using their communities to succumb to anger and avarice against other communities. No?
That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible. Such a man is not fit to govern.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me. Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages. This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
So, is that scars on your forehead or is it tattoos? Oh, talking's finally done. Oh, we can talk to Pippin. My first engagement as Flame General, and it's a full-scale war with the Empire. I feel some measure of nervousness, of course, but I swear I will make Father proud in the battles to come. I came back to find Doma's advance party ready and waiting for battle, so as worrying as our little chat with the Empire was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive.
I'm not sure what I was expecting from our meeting with the Emperor, but it wasn't that. Still, at least we know now what he's really after.
He's completely racist and off his rocker.
Aye, a future built on a mountain of bodies. I too want the Ascians dead, but not at any cost.
The last of the reinforcements from Dorma arrived not long ago. I pray it will be enough. Given the Emperor's stated goal, this is a battle we can ill afford to lose.
If the Gallians come in force, we may not have much say in the matter, even with our combined strength.
We knew from the first that the odds would be against us. But if there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must do everything in our power to seize it.
We must seize it, full stop.
Here!
The two of you are to join an irregular unit and support the main host. I won't bother asking if you're minded to fight.
After coming this far, how could I not? And for once, there's no one around to countermand me. Not that they would. Not even my brother. But we all know who really make the difference. Ready to frighten some Garleans?
I wouldn't want to be on their side.
I was surprised he didn't even mention that Edgar's Edgar's a Reaper.
Might I ask you to accompany the Dorman contingent? They are strangers here, and your presence would do much to raise their spirits.
We would be honored.
When our people stride out with you in their midst, I dare say the Eorzeans will feel an ilm taller themselves. High spirits have a way of spreading.
What I wouldn't give to join you. But my duties as field commander will not allow it. I'll leave the front lines in your capable hands.
This doesn't help that your age is showing.
Comrades, ready your arms. The hour of battle has come. May the crystal guide us to victory!
Was one of them wielding a shovel? We got some Kriegs with us. Going into war with shovels. The combat shovel especially useful.
Since the others couldn't be here, we'll have to fight twice as hard. If Alphinaud wakes to find the Imperials have won, I shall never hear the end of it. It's strange. I thought I would be terrified when the fighting started. I should be terrified. But with you at our side, I can't help feeling everything is going to be all right.
Everything's not going to be all right with Edgar.
So please, don't you dare leave me alone. No matter what happens, we have to survive together.
What about Edgar's friend? His dance partner? What about them? Can they join too? Oh! Who's joining with us? To be perfectly honest, I didn't know this was a thing. I completely forgot that this existed. So I guess let's get to it. Was after this a trial that I completely forgot existed as well? I didn't even know this was a dungeon. I thought this was an instance. Like those other ones. If I remember correctly, Ian usually shows up in this as well. To aid you. There. They got paratroopers!
You shall fall soon enough.
Enough!
I'm surprised this place hasn't exploded yet, with how much ceruleum is everywhere. Wait a minute. Why do we have a Dome and Shaman? Wouldn't having Senna here make more sense? Plus, I also think Pippin would be better suited as a tank instead of having Ian with us. I don't know why, but I thought this was going to stand up. Again, I probably didn't notice the massive tire on the front of it. Oh. Yeah, the only thing I remember about this dungeon is its final boss. 275. Our gear is 285. Yeah, I think Kian would have been over here. Oh, so that's the reason why Senna isn't the healer.
You underestimate me.
I guess that's also the reason why Pippin or Emmerich isn't one. I swear that Kian was also in the battle before.
Does not yield! Let us be about it!
Wait, where did Pippin go? Oh. I see our allies are trying to... Our allies got picked off the fight. So...
left of you but a smoking crater!
Oh, we're full on elegant tombstones. I wonder what the others say.
We did it! I dare say they'll be reeling from this.
You were truly inspiring in battle, my friend. I'm determined not to be outdone, but there seems to be no one left to fight.
A tactical withdrawal, perhaps?
We should give chase. Finish them off while we have the chance. Imagine the other surprise when they wake to find the war already won.
The light will expunge all life. Only you can forestall the calamity. Throw wide the gates.
No! 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 Not like...
If Edgar was only a little bit bigger. I wonder how that looks with Max Height Rogadin, then.
Oh no. Don't tell me. Are you all right? Quickly! We must get her back to the encampment.
So the Guardians have been routed, have they? Well done. Though this exchange was no more than a test of our strength. Like as not, they won't be taking any chances now that the Emperor has joined the fray. They'll want to take their time, whittle down our defenses. Still, with your help and that of our eastern allies, we've passed the first test. Our line is unbroken. As for Alize, well, she's in good hands over at the infirmary. My lord, the Shurigans have completed their examination of Mistress Alize, and it is as we feared. She is locked in a slumber without any outward cause. Just like the others, damn it all. I, the Guardians, picked a fine time to come knocking. 5 Scions incapacitated, and with the enemy on our doorstep, I cannot spare the men to assist in the search for a cure. The best I could do is see to it that Alize is escorted safely back to the Rising Stones. Gary and I would return to our encampment. The main contingent of our forces from the far east is under sail, and all must be made ready for their arrival. I'll not keep you then. Judging by the Guardians' recent movements, or lack thereof, they won't be launching another offensive in the immediate future. You should return to the Rising Stones. Given the plight of your fellow scions, I can understand if you feel on edge, but you'll be no good to anyone without rest. To the Rising Stones we go. My ears are itchy. I wonder how long this video is gonna be. Edgar, welcome home. Word has it that you and Mistress Alizé gave the Garlands quite a thrashing. Speaking of which, where is Mistress Alizé? I was certain she would have returned by now. By the 12, not her too. Orchard and I will ready the infirmary for her arrival. We will also need to send a message to Taro post-haste. Or that I had something other than grim tidings to share with her. And with you too, for that matter, it grieves me to report that the Archon's condition remains unchanged. As we speak, Coultinet, Krile, and Master Matoya continues to explore every possible avenue. Alas, their efforts have yet to bear fruit. But all is not lost. You are still hale and whole after all, though I suspect you must be tired from your journey. You should rest, my friend. Leave the worrying to us for the time being as least. And then suddenly Edgar just collapses. Are we going to get a meanwhile? Meanwhile, in Fort Tempest. Edgar, yours is a welcome face indeed in these troubled times, though if you come to inquire about our stricken brothers and sisters, I am afraid I have not to report. Colnett and the others continue their tireless search for answers, and I too have done all in my power to assist them, alas. My apologies for the intrusion. I was told Master Alphino would have been brought here and wished to see if his conditions have improved. Master Edgar, I have heard about your part you played in driving back the Empire's forces. Thank you. That you were able to stop them, if only for a short while, gives me hope. I realize how strange such words must sound coming from a Garlean's lips, but I speak them out of the love I bear for my homeland, because I wish to see an end to the bloodshed. That is why I chose to share all that I knew with the Alliance. Though I will surely be branded a traitor, I am content to bear that ignominy. It will seem a small price to pay if it helps to prevent this conflict from escalating any further. But if my prattling, the war is not what brought me all this way. I come to see Master Alphino. An acquaintance of Edgar and Alphino, are you? Well, Far be it from me to turn away good company. If you will follow me, sir. When word reached me that Alphino had returned, it seemed only right that I visit him. Poor lad, it pains me to see him thus, but I take solace in the knowledge that he is safe and well cared for. He fought valiantly at the burn. The Popularis could not have wished for a more committed ally. I know not how he came to be so afflicted, but I pray for a cure will be found soon. On an unrelated note, you may be interested to know that I traveled here in the company of another acquaintance of yours. He awaits my return at North Silvertier, and I am certain he would be glad to see you, assuming you can spare the time, that is. If you can't hear, I got a Pandora next to me. Yes, you got the crazies. Yeah, you do. I guess we're here with so young. There you are. I was beginning to think you would not come. Sounds like you've been through the mill. You should have called me. Though I must confess, tracking down missing souls isn't exactly within my field of expertise. As you might have surmised, I've heard much of Master Garland's growing up in Garlemald. Indeed, he has long been a sense of inspiration to me. Most Garlands would say he is a traitor and he turned his back on his country. We of the Popularis, however, considered him a revolutionary, a man willing to defy the Empire's dreams of subjugation, that his inventions might bring about a better future for all mankind. Please, revolutionary is a term best served for my work. I am but an Imperial defector who thought to aid another Imperial defector. Whatever Master Garland says, I am humbled to find myself in such distinguished company. Speaking of a distinguished company, we heard from Waban that you ran into an old friend in the burn. Is it true? Gaius still lives? Like most in the army, I never had the privilege of seeing the legatus without his mask. To think I walked halfway across the burn in the presence of the Black Wolf. And he claimed to have severed ties with the Empire to hunt Ascians, did he? After his humbling at the Praetorium, one would think he'd have the good sense to stay dead. Should we meet again, I shall be sure to tell him that. So, Commander Alden also spoke of the Alliance meeting with the Emperor. Though I still harbor labor to believe what he told us, did his Radiance really claim that Garlemald was found by the Ascians? But that is madness. The very notion is absurd. Every fiber of my being rails against it. And yet I see there is no escaping the truth. From the very founding of my homeland, my brothers and sisters have laid down their lives in service to a lie. The Ascians must be stopped to save my people, to save all people. For all the Empire's many crimes, even I did not suspect. Had I known, I would have left a lot sooner. But as in the past, here's the present. We must apply ourselves to the problem of how the Empire's ambitions may be thwarted, not only in Eorzea, but in the Far East as well. The ironworks will spare no effort to achieve that end. Ciru's wall was a good start, but we can do more, and we will. We'll show them what it means to achieve freedom through technology. Making a promise, I bear a message for the Warrior of Light. Commander Alden requested presence at Alliance headquarters in Alamigo. He would discuss matters of strategy at your earliest convenience. Ah yes, the inevitable messenger. I knew it would be long before duty called you away. Time, no doubt, being of the essence. Could I tempt you into a ride about the Excelsior? If it be right or faster way to Raban's side, I will personally apologize to the commander for keeping him waiting. Edgar don't want to go yet. Edgar want to go sell things. Okay, we can still go and sell things. Also to get our gear repaired. I don't know why, because I do have a bit of a feeling that something's gonna happen when I sell this stuff. I say donation, but this is really just selling. Just selling it to someone at a marked up price. But now that I have that stuff off, it makes me feel a bit better. First you don't want pet, and then you want pet. Decide, do you want pets or not? I swear, every time you board my airship, you seem to be barreling headlong into danger, and every time you somehow contrive to emerge victorious. Which, of course, is an admirable skill. But no one is invincible, Edgar, not even you, so please, take care of yourself out there. I pray you remain safe on the front lines. Though ill-equipped to join the fray, I shall do all I can to assist from headquarters. My colleagues and I have tasked with evacuating casualties by air. See that you aren't among them, eh? Don't worry, Edgar will be on the first one. Ooh, a present. Commander Alden is waiting, sir. It would be best if we proceed to Alliance headquarters at once. Yep, and you're got quasies. Yep. I remember this one. I don't remember its voice acted, though. You're here. Good. I summon you to discuss strategy, but first I would appraise you of the Garlean's movements.
There have been several skirmishes along the border, but as yet neither side has delivered a decisive blow. We had long assumed that the Garleans would overwhelm us in a straight fight, but we seem to be gaining ground, albeit slowly. As to why that might be, the most likely explanation is that they have yet to commit all their forces. Still, we're winning, and our latest intelligence suggests the Emperor has retreated back to Garlemald. In light of this, we're considering launching an offensive with the aim of pushing the front line forward and giving ourselves some room to breathe.
Commander! The Imperials! They've broken through our defenses to the east.
What?
Our scouts say their forces are being led by Lord Xenos. Lord Heian and Commander Hext have taken their troops to provide support, but we don't know how long they can hold out.
So, they've been biding their time, waiting for his arrival, have they? Very well. Send word to our allies, requesting reinforcements for the front line. Should the worst come to the worst, I may need to enter the fray myself. But what of you? Do you still have the strength to fight? He may not die as such, but to see Lord Xenos fall on the battlefield would deal a heavy blow to Imperial morale. I'll see to it the men stay clear.
Why won't they open? Please, I bid you open.
Call again later. Edgar's busy.
What's wrong? Is it the voice again?
They won't stop calling Edgar.
Are you sure you're in a fit state to do this?
Nope. But Edgar got to get paid.
May Ralga grant us strength. Give 'em hell, lad. I, for my part, will defend this place to my dying breath.
It'll most likely come to that. Meanwhile, back at where you were. Oh dear. This isn't gonna end well. Maybe one of you should have brought a healer! Please?
breathe power. The art of my forebears.
That was actually Xenos. He wouldn't have gotten hit.
Magic with a Garlean body. That's hardly fair. Still, he must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Bringer of light. It has been too long. No words to mark our reunion? So be it. Equilibrium must be restored, and only your death will redress the balance.
At least it's a nice touch that they repaired the horn. You can actually see it's made out of different material. This was a lot easier to spellcast there. Not had that many options for healing, but at least I could dodge stupid balls. Up here.
I see.
Well, that was easy. It's still easy, but at least it was a little bit easier to spellcaster. Round 2.
Your mother chose her champion well. Yet, for all your strength, you will still fail.
Please, I beseech you.
Please call again later.
Someone calls to you. Too late, alas.
How many are your other swords? Edgar just disappears right in front of him. Oh god, this is a Kingdom Hearts thing.
At last, I found you.
If only he could block numbers on his brain.
Please, there's no cause for alarm. Though, I confess, this is not where I had intended to meet. But the place of our meeting is of no consequence, like the war you wage. Win or lose, the path you walk leads only to oblivion. The better path leads you here, to me. I have need of your strength. I'm afraid such questions will have to wait. We have precious little time, and your work is not yet done. Go to the Crystal Tower. I have left something for you near its base. It will serve as a beacon of sorts. One which I pray will help you on your journey.
Well, Edgar's dead now, so...
All you need do is find it. I will take care of the rest. Soon, we will throw wide the gates. And the path to the first will be yours to walk at last.
Where's that your eye patch?
You're awake. Thank heavens. Do you recall the confrontation with Xenos? You were the first to come to the aid of Mistress Lys and the others on the front line. In the midst of your duel, it is said you faltered, and that the Crown Prince seized the opportunity to deliver a mortal blow. Yet before his blade could find its mark, he was distracted by the arrival of a second adversary who bore you away from the battlefield and into the hands of our chirurgeons. Lest you wonder, he left before you awoke. As is his wont.
Please do not touch Edgar's hair.
Estinian never was one for emotional farewells. Though Xenos bested all before him, the battle clearly took its toll, for he retreated shortly after your rescue. Seeing this, the remaining Imperial forces decided discretion was the better part of valor and pulled back, allowing us to re-establish our position. We have since received word of renewed unrest in the provinces, doubtless inspired by the efforts of the Eorzean Alliance and our Far Eastern allies. Nor does the good news end there. We have also come into possession of intelligence suggesting unrest within the Imperial Court. This would certainly explain why both the Emperor and Lord Xenos appear to have abandoned the fight. A long-awaited ray of hope in these dark times. Yet to awake, I'm afraid. But please, concentrate on your own recovery for now. You have carried the hopes of some half-dozen nations, and we are all eternally grateful for your efforts. But no one is without their limits, not even you. Leave this fight to us, my friend. You have earned your rest. But before I forget, I was asked to deliver a message as soon as you awoke. A reminder that you are not alone, though many of your allies have fallen. When you are well and rested, you are to return home, where friends will be waiting for you. Now, if you will excuse me, I must return to the front. May we meet again soon, under happier circumstances.
Well, this is most unexpected surprise. I thought you can find to bed. I heard that you had collapsed on the field of battle. I confess I feared the worst, but when you're standing before me, I see now the reports of your defeat was greatly exaggerated. Thank the Fury. As long as we have you, Master Magic, history suggests we have a fighting chance. Speaking of fighting, you may be surprised to hear that the war's effect can already be felt even here in Ishgard in anticipation of a need for reinforcements. Altaria will soon be departing for the front lines with a contingent of our finest knights. I advise you to stay until your strength had returned, but I know it would be in excess of futility. Indeed, I suspect you have already decided on your next destination. Dark days lie ahead of that I have no doubt, but the light of hope shall ever guide our steps, so long as we have the will to press onwards. And press onward we must. Farewell, my friend. I pray our next meeting will be under happier circumstances. Oh, back to the Rising Stones we go. I have a feeling this one's probably going to be about 2 or 3 hours now. Oh dear.
By the 12! I don't believe it! I rushed back as soon as I could. I swear, my heart nearly stopped when I heard you'd collapse like the others. What in heaven's name is going on? Win or lose, the path you walk leads only to oblivion. Oh, well, that's helpful. And what else did he say? The better path leads to him? If his is the voice you've all been hearing, perhaps the others are with him.
He's taking hostages then.
Emmerich said the fighting had reached a stalemate, didn't he? But if that monster masquerading as Xenos comes back... Thancred, Yestola, Urianger, Alphino, Alize... You're going to need all of them on your side to defeat him. And I forbid you from going to face him on your own, do you hear me? So if you must leave, go and find the others. Bring them home. As for where to start, you said the stranger had left a beacon for you at the Crystal Tower, right? But how are you to find it, now that the tower has been sealed shut? There has to be a way. If anyone would know, it's Sid, and the researchers of St. Coinac's find. Don't you worry, we'll find that beacon for you.
I pray you have good reason for abandoning the front.
How could I remain there while the rumor that my son is possessed by a demon spreads like a sickness here at home? I will not be made to fight for the throne a second time. But what of you? Did you not tell me you would destroy Eorzea's champion with the ease that one might swat a fly?
A minor setback. He will not escape me again. Where is your grandsire? I would have words with him.
How should I know? Do you hide from each other's sight as well? I imagine he's doing what all Ascians do.
He must have found a way to take advantage of this turmoil.
Men are not pawns to be played with, Ascian. You underestimate us at your peril. This war will not be decided by you and yours. Man must choose his own fate, and I, for my part, will do all within my power to see Garlemald emerge victorious.
Pray forgive the intrusion, Your Radiance, but the requested preparations are now complete. We stand ready to begin production of Black Rose upon your order.
And there you have it. That has been the post game for Stormblood. I like the post game, the post Stormblood expansion, a lot more than the actual Stormblood expansion itself. I really don't have much to say. Probably because, like I said, my mouth hurts and I'm tired. I don't even know how long this episode is. It's probably going to end up being like 3 hours if I were to guess. If not more. So I'm just going to let the credits play while I go play with the cat. Pandora got bored. You know, she's just laying on the bed, just staring at me. I guess I can turn my phone back on. I know you'll be alright. In the Silhouette return, I made you this, a brand new traveling outfit, and I do hope it fits. No, it's not the time to fuss over your measurements. I must go and speak with the researchers of St. Colin's Find. You go and rest while we track down the beacon.
My enemy. My friend. Had I been but a step faster.
Bloody savages!
A pity your hunt leads you elsewhere. Not that I am surprised. May you find joy in it. Grow stronger, more savage, and savor every triumph. In the meantime, I will reclaim that which is rightfully mine.
In the midst of a requiem for heroes, a voice rings out across time and space. In fields of tranquil light, sow your seeds of darkness.